Hello and welcome to another modelling video. This is Alan from the Economan at YouTube with another model video. Funnily enough, Pokemon is making a round on YouTube. It has no need of introduction, and something I was a fan of being at the right age and picking it up to the mid to late 90s. Loved the games. Obviously, I would be attracted to the model kits, the Bandai ones being not too interesting and very, very expensive due to licensing. Where there's official, there is counterfeits, and the underbelly of the community is the amount of toys, apparel, cards is immeasurable. Normally, I hang out on the less legitimate end of the internet where I find interesting things to review, buy, and consume. These gachapon Pokemon heads with the rest of the parts inside does not disappoint whatsoever. Got some other projects on the go. This all happened to fall into place just as it got popular on YouTube. Looking around on some reference material, I'm also looking up colour scheme, rarities, weird facts like Pikachu's giving you terminal illness, and the genders in finishing 3D prints. Looking at these gachapons, they're wrapped in plastic. There's 8 to collect, featuring the head that's already moulded and screen printed coloured in its facial features. You'd normally get a waistband in the middle to make the ball large enough. Measuring it would also fit in a gachapon machine, and you'd have a mix of hard ABS or styrene-like plastic, neatly injection moulded, detailed, plus some soft vinyl pieces that are full, like the tail and the ears. The build-up of each of them is a bit different, and they all take a different approach in how it's assembled, painted, masked, or the parts slip together. Thus, I'll be building 2 of the projects. The way this is marketed and laid out is very adorable. You've got a lot of the original Pokemon, which is more hitting into the nostalgia factor, and it's also going to the cute factor of these sleeping. The fit is snap fit, very interesting, holds together quite nicely, though the quality isn't quite up there to the snap fit and the sleekness of the Bandai counterparts. However, the price is quite a stark difference. These only being a couple of dollars per ball, or very cheap for the entirety of the set. The wholesaler I picked this up from, marketing it and selling it as an educational assembly toy with no mention of model kit whatsoever. Similar to the Zaku heads and the Gundam assembly blind gachapon boxes, it made a lot of sense to parade this around my salt mines business more so as a model kit. The very large pieces are very friendly for children. I can't see any choking hazards nor sharps or difficulty. My goal is to finish this as a more sleek model kit and immediately apply glue to assemble it and fill in all the seam lines, imperfections and flash, which there were not too many of. A few ejector pin marks on the belly, but that would be appropriately hidden. Straight to the airbrush booth. Everything was coated in automotive or hobby primer, sanded and polished back to a very smooth finish, and airbrushed with a range of yellows and orange lacquer paints to give it a very watercolor pastel effect that I remember seeing in the original artwork, Pokedexes, whatnot, when Pikachu was very fat and plump and appeared in that sort of material pre-anime. There was a couple of oopses and mistakes that was just polished out and re-airbrushed, and looking at the final picture, I got the white flash marks and the brown effects on its back. The face is heavily washed out, though it was painted in one go, and the cheeks blushed up. From the back and sides, it looks pretty convincing, though the front is a bit ordinary. As a quick one-day turnaround build, I really can't complain at all in the effort. The model wasn't very challenging to build. being very large, it felt more like a garage kit or a figure than anything mechanical that I've built in the past, coming from Gunpla or military mechanical based subjects. The painting bit, I had a lot of fun in picking out all sorts of detail, practicing shading, practicing shadowing, putting in those white bits, and being overall experimental in how cheap this was picked up. I have to say, in the end, I had quite a bit of fun. However, we do have to build a second one to show off some of the other styles of torso and assembly. The next one is almost like a Funko Pop or a Nendroid very large head Squirtle. The body is pre-colored, pre-masked, pre-assembled, and the face has this lovely screen printed pre-masked eyes. It's a function I felt like I had to keep, though pulling the torso out with this solid shell and tail was almost immediately disappointing, being more toy than model kit. Splitting it open showed that the injection molding had a multitude of materials being molded in, being the shell separated from the body and forming around. This would make airbrushing so much easier, as all I would have to do is liquid mask the stomach and the shell bit. The whole head came out gachapon style in the large plastic head, just like the Pikachu, with no issue. The tail is completely soft vinyl with a fairly nasty seam or join mark going down the center of it. That was easily sorted out with filling putty. The head plastic cemented together, seam line filled and sanded with no issues whatsoever. No cleanup was required with the shell or the torso. I felt sanding and polishing the paint off would work in case a cheap product was used and it would flake off when lacquer was applied. Everything received a coat of primer to search for any further imperfections. There was a bit of a flash mark around the edge. It was cleaned up. Then we went straight to base colouring. I masked the eyes off as it was already so beautiful. There was no point in remasking and painting that. Base coated and shaded the main colours. Then the inner colours, a lot of earthy military tones. A blue wash to bring out some details. And this guy popped out in less than 2 hours of painting, hand painting, touching up. I seriously can't comprehend or understand why a legitimate company hasn't gone down this route of ultra cute Pokemon that's of this level of detail and workmanship of sleeping or in a baby state of a very large head Funko Pop lack of detail or style. It's very simplistic, kind of ordinary as a toy, pre-painted with a little paint and shadowing and detail. It really pops and blends in as a much higher collectible quality toy, a lot like the Nendroids, which are very popular in the anime figure community. This, bit of a shame to admit, is an absolute low to no effort kit. Besides a tiny amount of shading paint, the panel line washes and the masking, this could have been the exact same outcome for a complete beginner or a hobbyist who's very casual to painting and assembly, yet the results are very effective and it's a pretty attractable item. Pretty happy with how it looks, though the eyes really draw it together in what the factory has produced for us. This pretty much is the collection of these gacha blind capsule, well, not really blind, Pokemon toys. Thank you very much for watching. As always, until next time, stay tuned for further content. I can't really recommend or show you where you can buy these. The salt mines have a little bit where I'm sold in Australia, but it's just travelling around further enough on either eBay or AliExpress. They appear, they disappear, but they're not really meant to be sold or bought. There's all sorts of issues in the counterfeit bootleg debate of the mecha and anime side of modelling from GK to Gundams. Not exactly going to discuss that here, though my opinions are in the bootleg playlist on my YouTube channel, and we'll catch you guys next time. Stay tuned for more content and check out all of the links in the description section down below. See you later.